ideas clearly, accurately, and vividly, that you can use rhetorical devices to enhance and emphasize your ideas, and eliminate jargon and unnecessary words using correct grammar. Our second speaker has come to us as a very avid sports fan since birth, more than half a century ago. He moved here from California 20 years ago, however, and the only New York team that he adopted was the New York Knicks. I can tell you, as a compatriot, that he is a long-suffering of that team, but a dedicated fan. He is able today, finally, to speak on the team's rising star and its wonderful prospects in a speech entitled Lessons from Lynn. Are you on the beach? Are you on the bench or in the game? Please join me in welcoming David Abramovitz.
Linsanity. Lynn sanity. This is the last 2 consecutive weeks of Sports Illustrated. Are we out of our minds? No, I don't think so. The message of Lynn is singular. It is surprising, and it is sensational. But this is not simply sports fans following a novice's phenomenal statistics. I feel as if Jeremy Lin has brought us moving motivational messages or lessons which we can learn from, and I want to share with you 3 of them today by simply saying, are you on the bench or are you in the game? Madam Toastmaster, fellow SEC Rough Riders, and most welcome guests. For any of you who have been in a coma or flying out in space for the last month, let me awaken you. Jeremy Lin was about to be cut by his 3rd NBA team this year, the New York Knicks, when he was scraped off the bench and on February 4th put into action. That day, February 4th, he led the team to a come-from-behind win against the New Jersey Nets, wherein he scored 25 points, grabbed 5 rebounds, and assisted his fellow players 7 times. From that February 4th date, he began to start, and he led them to 7 straight victories. The team, as of today, last night from February 4th, the Knicks have a 10-win, 3-loss record, including wins over the Los Angeles Lakers and the Dallas Mavericks, world champions. Suddenly, Lin is world famous. And suddenly people who, until recently, thought driving the lane was something you do on the interstate, are following his feats with fascination. Now, we all know about his Asian American heritage and his Harvard education, but I want to ask, what has made this kid a worldwide phenomenon? To me, the Jeremy Lin story shows us that he has unique character aspects that have vaulted him out of the world of sports and made him an inspirational and motivational figure from which we can motivate ourselves to get and stay in the game in a successful way. Lesson number 1 from Lin. We need to believe in ourselves when no one else does. Lin, when he was in high school in California, led his team to a 32-1 record and the state title. Yet not a single college gave him a scholarship. He had a 4.2 grade average, so he went to Harvard. At Harvard, on the court, he set numerous personal records as well as for his team in the Ivy League. Yet, he was not drafted by any NBA team. And as I mentioned, he was cut twice this year before the Knicks picked him up off the ground. Do you believe in yourself, warts and all? Each of us has within us qualities, talents, and dreams. Rhea? Where we stand above the crowd, for which we have a competitive advantage. It is the continuous belief in those attributes in ourselves that we must hold true in order for us to succeed and elevate our games, particularly when people are saying, "What, are you crazy?" The second message from Lynn is that when we have opportunities, we have to seize them. Jeremy Lin is only 6'3", which in the NBA is not that tall, even for his position. Yet, he searches the court for opportunity and adapts to the situation. He plays like all good point guards with his eyes up, looking for creases or seams in the defense in order to drive the lane or to assist his fellow players. We too must be vigilant to our changing environment in order that we can find creases or cleavage. Oh, sorry. In order to present opportunities and elevate our game. The third lesson from Lynn is that we need to be humble and respectful of others. Jeremy Lin is extremely humble, and he is respectful of those all around him. His great humility allows his leadership skills to rise above when many in the NBA are conspicuously conspicuous. He downplays his stardom and his talent in order to raise up and talk up his other players, the coaches, and even God. The attributes that I spoke of, where we do have advantages, we must realize and use, yet not be arrogant and continue to be humble. The greatest of them all, Muhammad Ali, turned 70 last week. And he once said, he once said, it is a lack of faith that makes us afraid to meet challenges in our lives. But I believe in myself. Now, the world of heroes is littered with those who rose up into the public eye and streaked across our psyches like a comet burning, only to crash and to die. We don't know how Jeremy Lin will do in the future, but what we can keep are those positive messages that he has given to us, that this underestimated, underappreciated, and undersized point guard has given. It is in that way that we can become our own heroes. Madam Toastmaster.